What's up, guys? Welcome to Making Houston Home. My name is Rene. Today I'm going to be showing y'all some of the very many benefits of living in Texas as a veteran. So, if you're watching this right now, I'm assuming you're a veteran, or maybe you're related to a veteran, you know someone, and you're thinking about moving to Texas. First and foremost, I want to say thank you. If you're the vet yourself, thank you for your service. Really appreciate it. I love veterans. It's what you guys do and your sacrifice that gives me and my family the ability, and I mean all of us really, the ability to live in this country with the freedoms that we have, especially here in Texas. And Texas really loves that and takes care of y'all. And I'm going to show you in this video all the different ways you can take advantage of these different programs that Texas offers up, as a thank you, obviously, for your service and for your sacrifice for the rest of us. So again, I appreciate y'all, whether you're a vet yourself or you're related to one, maybe it's your spouse or sibling, whatever it is, the whole family sacrifices. And I know that very well. I have family that are veterans as well too. So I understand what the entire family goes through and the sacrifice that everyone makes. So I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. We're going to jump into it. I'm going to start with some of the more like kind of hidden benefits, things that you don't really think about every day, like little things that'll save you a little bit of money here and there, and then end the video with some of the bigger benefits that you're most definitely gonna want to take advantage of if you're living in Texas as a veteran, especially a disabled veteran. So before we jump into it, subscribe, hit the bell. Bell's gonna make sure you're notified of my videos when they come out, keep you up to speed on what's happening here in Houston. But also, like I'm doing this video, this is kind of Texas wide, wherever you're going to be. Specifically in Houston is mostly what my channel is. So, without further ado, let's get to it. Again, thank you for being here. Let's get to it right now. All right, let's jump into it. Again, I can't say it enough. Thank you for your service, for your sacrifice. I love you. Texas loves you. We'd love to have you here. And here we go, man. We're going to start with some of the smaller benefits. Like I mentioned, I actually have my brother-in-law. He's from California as well. He grew up in the South Bay, same area I did. He moved out here a few years ago. So dealing with him buying a home and everything he's been doing, we speak frequently. So a lot of this stuff I'm very familiar with because I've helped him do it. So first thing, one of the coolest things in my opinion, because I drive a lot, and being specifically here in Houston, Houston has a lot of toll roads. And so, the tolls aren't super expensive. It just depends on how far you have to drive on them. But one of the cool things you can take advantage of if you are a disabled vet, there's kind of different qualifications for these. But one of the things is you're likely to be able to get your fees completely waived on the toll road. So like, for example, my brother-in-law, he pays 0 toll road fees. So really, really cool benefit. I used to drive about 30-40 miles to work, and I probably paid, I want to say maybe about 80 to 100 bucks a month in fees. And he actually works where I work, so he's saving, about that same amount of money, maybe a little bit more because he's going more often than I was. But saving, let's say 100 bucks a month in toll road fees. So super great benefit right there to keep in mind. The next thing kind of has to do with the same auto stuff as driving the tolls, is the benefits around your registration and vehicle plates. So you can, if you're a disabled vet, you can get a disabled veteran license plate. There a lot of times, I know a lot of the vets that I deal with don't, there's kind of a stigma around that. They don't want to put that out there, but there are benefits that come along with it. One of the biggest things, you don't have to pay for registration, and you also don't have to pay for a vehicle inspection on one of your vehicles. So if you're not familiar with that, in Texas, ever so often you have, in order to renew your registration, you get an inspection done. It's usually not that much money. I think most places charge, 25 to 50 bucks. They just make sure your car is in good working order, essentially. So you get that fee waived, and you get your registration fee waived too, which is a pretty good savings every year, right? Moving on from those, the next benefit we'll talk about is some of the education benefits. So, I do know y'all have the GI Bill. You're taken care of federally as well, and Texas actually likes to add on to that. One of the biggest things in Texas is the Hazelwood Act. So, I used to be in the oil industry. That's what brought me to Texas in the first place. I used to work for ExxonMobil. So, a lot of the guys that I worked with, Exxon loves to hire veterans as well. A lot of the guys were from Texas, and with the Hazelwood Act, you would have to have been a Texas resident when you went into the military, and then now you're coming back home. They actually pay up to 150 hours of school is exempted. So your fees are exempted. The only thing that doesn't cover housing, but essentially you can get your entire bachelor's degree at no cost with the Hazelwood Act. So definitely something to look into. That's kind of more for people that were already in Texas when they entered the military. Well, it is actually, but really great benefit there. Another thing too is, I spoke about my brother-in-law. He came out here from California. Being that I was in the oil industry, I knew a lot of guys that did this who weren't from Texas, but essentially a lot of these oil industry, oil companies, when you hire on with these companies, there's usually an apprenticeship program. And those apprenticeship programs, the one that I was in with Exxon, is actually counted as education. So when these people can hire in, if you're a military veteran, you can also use your benefits, your school benefits, to pay you throughout that 3-year. The company I was with, it was a 3-year apprenticeship program. So not only are you working a great job, but then you get that additional benefit of being in that school program, that apprenticeship, and you're getting paid by the VA for doing that as well. So really, really huge benefit that should be taken advantage of there. So really, really great there. Next thing, kind of speaking to, talking about jobs there for a little bit. One of the cool things is the Texas Veterans Commission. They actually have a program to help veterans that are coming back to civilian life, I guess you could say. I know a lot of people, Texas understands this as well. It can be tough to kind of navigate getting back into like regular society, if you will. So the Texas Veterans Commission, they actually have a program. Well, they will help you do that. They'll train you to get jobs. They will do a lot for you. Like there's career services, job coaching, there's job fair programs and preparation, interviewing techniques. There's a bunch of stuff that they'll help you do through, again, that's the Texas Veterans Commission. So really cool benefit there that Texas offers, and really great just when you think about that, how the state understands and really tries to help out, because they know it's more than just getting a job. There's a lot more that comes mentally with that, and I love seeing programs like that because it does help. My family's been impacted by somebody that was in the military, came back, had a tough time getting back into the groove of being a civilian, I guess you could say. So really great to see a state trying to help out as much as Texas does. Getting into more, real estate stuff, which obviously is what I do, and kind of the bigger financial benefits of being a veteran here in Texas. We'll jump into one thing, which is land loans. So really, really cool. You can get a land loan as a veteran up to $150,000 to buy vacant land. So you can build on that in the future. You can do what you want with it in the future, but this initial loan of up to $150,000 is just for vacant land. So, that can be, right now the rate's about 6.75%, which is really, really competitive for a land loan. That's actually less than what the regular interest rate is on your regular mortgage. So really great benefit there. And that also can be up to a 30-year term with no prepayment penalty. So, at the end of the day, if you're talking about even, you could find land in rural areas if that's what you wanted and build on it. I know a lot of people love that. I would love to do that as well. I would definitely take advantage of something like this if I could. But you're talking on a 30-year note for, let's say, 100 grand, you're talking less than a car payment for a piece of property. I mean, that's a huge benefit. So really, really great. And like I said, you could build on it in the future. Really great thing to take advantage of is a Texas land loan. So another thing going into talking about loans still is the Texas home improvement loan for veterans. So what that is you can actually say you buy a property, it can't be completely distressed, not like a flip or anything. It's got to be your primary residence. You buy a property that needs some renovations to it, you can get a loan up to $50,000 to renovate that property. And there are some stipulations that come along with that. It has to appraise at value. Like the numbers have to make sense, obviously. But another really great benefit to look into, if you want to purchase a home that needs some work, you can get a loan in order to do that work. So you're not like, you can get a VA loan with no money down. If you can get a loan for the renovation work that needs to be done, that's no money out of your pocket as well too. Really, really great benefit. Segue into VA loans, obviously, which will be the next topic. Most people know about that, right? Your VA loan, really, really awesome program. I mean, just the best. You can get into a home with no money down. A lot of lenders here, speaking of which, if you need a lender, reach out. I have lenders here in Houston that will waive their origination fees. They waive fees for veterans and disabled veterans. And it's just something that they do to give back to y'all, for your sacrifice. So essentially, I mean, I've seen a veteran get a home and actually get paid at closing with all of the benefits that they had. So really, really cool, great options here. That VA loan, again, no PMI, no mortgage insurance, depending on the value of the home. That could save you a few $100 a month just in the fact that there's no PMI on that. Really, really great option there. So that segues into probably the biggest benefit about living here in Texas as a veteran, specifically a disabled veteran. If you know anything about Texas, there's two main things people always talk about. There's no state income tax, right? Which is awesome. The more money you make, you don't have any more state income taxes, just your federal tax liability. So that is great. The downside is we do have pretty high property taxes. So some places like here in Houston, depending on the school district, if it's a new development, you could be in the 3.5%, 3% tax rate. And that can get pretty pricey depending on how expensive your home is, right? So most areas, like I live in Kingwood, we're about 2.5%. Obviously, if you're somewhere from like California or New York, it sounds like a lot, but you're talking about 2.5% on, let's say, 400,000, rather than like 1% on $1 million or 1.2 million in California, right? And you're probably getting way more for your money than you would out there anyway, right? So that's kind of the way I think about it. Being from California, is it all kind of works out. But the bottom line is, property taxes do get pricey, so keep that in mind. But if you are disabled vet, anywhere from 10% disability up to 100% disability, there's exemptions all the way to 100% disability. You are completely exempt from property taxes. Yes, 100% exempt from property taxes. So, like, I have a family member here who bought a home, around $300,000 home, right? His payment with property taxes would have been, with the tax rate that he was in, around, I want to say it was like $2,700. He's 100% disabled. His payment is $1,800 a month for a brand new 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home. Beautiful, beautiful home. Take advantage of that stuff. A lot of people, this isn't something that Texas does as thinking like, oh, there's something wrong with you, we got to help you out. This is a thank you. So y'all sacrificed for this. Y'all put the work in for this, and this is the state's way of saying thank you for that. So, going back to it, all the way down to 10% exemption. Well, 10 to 29% gives you a $5,000 property tax exemption, and then that number goes up from there. So like 70 to 99, you get a $12,000 property tax exemption. And what that means is let's say your annual appraisal from the county you're in comes back and your house is worth, $250,000. What they do is that exemption gets taken off of that amount. So say it's $12,000 off 250, so you're going to be paying taxes on 238 rather than that full amount. So, and depending on your tax rate, like I said, if you're 3.5% tax rate, that's going to be a nice savings off of your property tax liability. So again, great things to consider, great things to think about. Just kind of, I feel like I breezed through that really fast. I know I forgot something. What did I forget? Oh, when we were talking about jobs. So specifically, I know working for ExxonMobil, as I had mentioned, a lot of companies do this as well, where they will preferably hire a veteran over a civilian, and just put it out there. That's the way it works. So like ExxonMobil, for example, obviously anyone can go on their website, create a profile, and apply for any job position. They actually have a separate portal for veterans to apply in, and they'll pull from that pool. They'll take from that pool, and those people have a better opportunity at a lot of these jobs because they love giving back to veterans. You sacrifice, you earn that, and that's not something. It's not like a lot of people have a stigma around it, right? Thinking they're being helped out or they're asking for handouts or this and that. And that's not what it's about. You worked for that, you sacrificed for that. And these are just people and companies saying, hey, we recognize that, we want to offer this to you and help you out when you're coming back to now live in society, right? So, again, a lot of information there in a short amount of time, but great benefits to take advantage of here in Texas. If you live in Texas now and maybe you haven't heard of these, I hope I was able to give you some value. Or if you're thinking about moving here from out of state as a veteran, glad I could help you. I hope that this was able to give you some information. You can go research some of these things on your own, or if you have questions, put them in the comments. I have lenders that I work with obviously daily and doing what I do in real estate, but a lot of these lenders have really great programs for veterans that you can take advantage of when purchasing your home. So with all of that said, I'll end it there. I just want to say thank you again from the bottom of my heart. I'm so appreciative of your sacrifice, everything you do for us, for my family, for the freedoms that we have here in this country, and especially here in Texas. So if you would, please subscribe, hit the bell. The bell's going to make sure that you're notified about my videos when they come out. If you're thinking about moving to Texas or moving to Houston specifically, my channel is Making Houston Home. It's really about how me and my family were able to make the transition from out of state and be here in Houston full time and learn to love it. We love Houston. It is home now. There's no any other way to say it. We love this place. So I guess I'll end it there. So again, I appreciate y'all. I'll see you on the next one, and thank you so much.